A story about hidden truths, stolen futures, and the kind of love that exposes every lie. Hello, my beautiful friends. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day, wherever you are in this big, beautiful world. Are you watching from the States? The UK? Maybe somewhere tropical where it's warm and sunny? Drop a comment below and let me know. I love hearing from you. And listen, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you're going to want to see how this story unfolds, because what starts as a simple blind date becomes something so much deeper, so much darker, and so much more beautiful than you could ever imagine. Now let's get into it. The rain came down in sheets against the floor-to-ceiling windows of Marcello's, the kind of exclusive restaurant where reservations were made 6 months in advance, and the waitstaff moved like ghosts in expensive shoes. Liam Ashford sat alone in the private booth, watching the city blur behind the rain-streaked glass, and wondered, not for the first time that evening, why he'd agreed to this. A blind date. At 35, with a net worth that had more zeros than most people could count, Liam had learned that everyone wanted something from him. A job, an investment, a piece of his fortune or his name. The women his friends set him up with were polished, practiced, perfect, and utterly transparent in their hunger. But his sister Charlotte had been insistent. She's different, Liam. She doesn't even know who you are. That alone had intrigued him enough to say yes. He checked his Patek Philippe watch. 7:30. She was late. The door to the restaurant opened, bringing with it a gust of cold October wind and the faint smell of rain. Liam glanced up and froze. The woman standing in the entrance was nothing like what he'd expected. She wore a thin coat that was soaked through at the shoulders, dark hair plastered to her face in wet strands she tried uselessly to brush away. Her jeans were worn but clean, her sneakers scuffed. She clutched a small purse close to her chest like it contained everything she owned. And from the look of her, it probably did. The maitre d' approached her with the kind of polite disdain reserved for people who clearly didn't belong. But she spoke quietly, showing him something on her phone. He glanced toward Liam's booth, and his entire demeanor shifted. Liam stood. She walked toward him with her shoulders slightly hunched, as if trying to make herself smaller, less noticeable. But he noticed everything. The way her hands trembled slightly, the exhaustion carved into the delicate lines around her eyes, the pride that kept her chin lifted even as she walked through a room where her coat probably cost less than a single appetizer. Liam. Her voice was soft, careful. I'm Mia. I'm so sorry I'm late. The bus broke down and I had to. She stopped, seeming to realize that explaining herself made her sound even more out of place. I'm sorry. Don't be. He gestured to the seat across from him, and she sat, folding her wet coat carefully over the back of the chair. Can I get you something? Wine. Coffee. Water's fine. She glanced at the menu, and he saw her eyes widen slightly at the prices before she looked away. Thank you. The waiter appeared, and Liam ordered for both of them. Nothing too extravagant, he noted, though he could afford anything on the menu 10,000 times over. He found himself suddenly conscious of the absurd wealth surrounding them, wondering how it must look through her eyes. For a long moment, they sat in silence. Mia folded her hands on the table, and he noticed the cracked skin around her knuckles, the short, practical nails. Working hands. Hands that had scrubbed and cleaned and carried and lifted. You don't want to be here, Liam said quietly. Her eyes met his, dark brown, ringed with exhaustion but sharp with intelligence, and something like relief flickered across her face. Is it that obvious? She almost smiled. Your sister's been very kind to me. When she asked if I'd meet you, I couldn't really say no. She's done a lot for my daughter and me. Your daughter? Ella. She's 6. The transformation was instant. Her entire face softened, years falling away. She's the only reason I'm still standing. There was a story there. Liam could feel it, heavy and hidden beneath her careful words. A story about how a woman this young ended up this worn down, this alone, this haunted. Charlotte didn't tell me much about you, he admitted. Just that you tutor at the community center. Among other things. Mia's smile was tired. I work mornings at Lou's Diner on 5th. Afternoons I tutor kids who can't afford regular lessons. Evenings I clean office buildings downtown. It's enough to keep us fed and housed. Barely. She said it without self-pity, just fact. But something cold settled in Liam's chest. That's 3 jobs. 3.5, actually. I do weekend alterations for a dry cleaner. She met his gaze steadily. I know this probably isn't what you expected. Charlotte said you were successful, and I'm this. If you want to end the evening early, I understand. Liam leaned forward, his voice low and intense. What happened to you, Mia? The question hung between them like a living thing. For just a moment, her carefully constructed composure cracked. Fear flashed across her face, real, visceral fear, before she locked it away behind a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Life happened, she said lightly. Bad luck, poor choices, the usual story. But Liam had built an empire on reading people, on seeing the lies beneath the surface. And everything about Mia's answer was a lie. Not in what she said, but in what she was desperately trying to hide. She wasn't poor because of bad luck. She was poor because someone had made absolutely certain she would be. And as he sat there watching her pretend to study the menu with hands that trembled just slightly, Liam made a decision that would change everything. He was going to find out who, and he was going to make them pay. Liam had built his fortune on reading people, their tells, their weaknesses, their hidden agendas. But Mia was different. Every careful word, every guarded glance told him she was protecting something precious. Tell me about Ella, he said, his voice softer than usual. Mia's entire demeanor shifted. The walls came down, revealing something achingly vulnerable. She's 6, loves dinosaurs and hates broccoli. She asked me yesterday why we can't have a Christmas tree this year. Her voice cracked slightly. I told her we were saving money for something special. The truth is, I'm $300 short on rent. She said it without self-pity, but Liam's chest tightened anyway. What happened to her father? The walls slammed back up. He's not in the picture. But he was once. Mia's hands clenched on the table. I don't talk about him. Before Liam could press further, his phone buzzed. His assistant, Nathan. The Parker acquisition closes tomorrow. Need your signature. He ignored it, something he never did. What about you? Mia asked, clearly deflecting. Charlotte mentioned you're close. Any other family? Just Charlotte. Our parents died when I was 23. Car accident. He paused. I raised her. Built the company to give us security. Understanding flickered in Mia's eyes. So you know what it's like. Being responsible for someone else's entire world. Yes. He leaned forward. Which is why I know you're running from something. Or someone. Mia stood abruptly, her chair scraping back. I should go. The babysitter charges by the hour and I can't. Mia. His voice stopped her. Whatever you're afraid of, whoever took everything from you. They're the reason you're working yourself to death, aren't they? Her silence was answer enough. And in that moment, Liam made a promise to himself. He would uncover every secret she was hiding, even if it destroyed them both. Liam didn't let Mia leave alone. He insisted on driving her home, ignoring her protests about taking the bus. When his Mercedes pulled up to a crumbling apartment building in the worst part of the city, his knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. This is where you live. It's safe enough, Mia said defensively, reaching for the door handle. Wait. He pulled out his phone, typing rapidly. I'm sending you something. Her phone buzzed. She looked at the screen and went pale. That's $10,000. Consider it a loan. Pay me back whenever. No, she thrust the phone toward him like it burned. I can't accept this. I don't even know you. Then get to know me. The words surprised him as much as her. Let me help you, Mia. Why? Her voice broke. Why would you care about someone like me? Because in 3 hours, she'd made him feel more human than he had in years. Because I want to. Mia's eyes filled with tears. You don't understand. People who try to help me, bad things happen to them. I can't let you. A black SUV suddenly screeched to a stop behind them. 2 men in suits emerged. Mia's face drained of all color. Oh God. No. Not here. Who are they? Liam demanded. But Mia was already stumbling out of the car, putting herself between the men and Liam's vehicle. Please, she begged them. Please, not tonight. My daughter's upstairs. The taller man smiled coldly. Mr. Thorne sends his regards. He wanted to remind you that the deadline is approaching. I'm working on it. I just need more time. Time's up, Mia. He wants his property back. And if you can't pay, his eyes drifted to the apartment building. Maybe the girl will do. Liam was out of the car before conscious thought, his voice deadly calm. Touch her daughter, and you won't leave this street alive. The men looked at him, then at each other. Then they left. But the damage was done. Mia collapsed against his car, sobbing. You shouldn't have done that. Now he knows about you. Now you're in danger too. Who the hell is Thorne? Mia looked up at him with eyes full of despair. My daughter's father. And the man who destroyed my entire life. For 3 days, Liam didn't hear from Mia. She'd refused his money, refused his help, and disappeared like smoke. So he did what he did best. He investigated. What Nathan uncovered made his blood run cold. Mia Sterling, former heiress to Sterling Pharmaceuticals, a company worth $500 million. Engaged at 23 to Damien Thorne, son of a powerful senator. Then suddenly nothing. The engagement broken, her family's company sold for pennies, Mia vanishing from society completely. There's more, Nathan said grimly. Legal documents show she signed over her entire inheritance, $60 million, to Thorne. But there's no clear reason why. People don't just give away $60 million, Liam muttered. They do if they're being blackmailed. Or threatened. Liam's jaw clenched. Find out everything about Damien Thorne. Bank records, business dealings, enemies. Everything. But it was Charlotte who provided the missing piece, appearing at his office unannounced. You need to leave Mia alone, she said without preamble. Why? Because Damien Thorne is obsessed with her. He's convinced Ella is his daughter. Is she? Charlotte hesitated. Genetically, yes. But Liam, he assaulted her. She tried to leave him, and he threatened to take Ella through the courts. He has lawyers, money, a senator father. Mia had nothing. So she signed everything away in exchange for him leaving them alone. Except he didn't leave them alone. No. He's been systematically ruining her life for 6 years. Every job she gets, he has her fired. Every apartment she rents, he has her evicted. He wants her desperate enough to come back to him. Rage unlike anything Liam had ever felt consumed him. Where is she now? I don't know. She stopped answering my calls after your date. Liam was already moving, grabbing his coat, because he knew exactly where someone desperate would go. He found Mia at Lou's diner at midnight, scrubbing tables with swollen eyes and hands that shook. When she saw him, she burst into tears. He fired me. He had me fired from all 3 jobs in one day. I don't know how to feed my daughter. I don't. Liam pulled her into his arms, and for the first time, Mia stopped fighting. Let me help you, he whispered into her hair. He'll destroy you too. Let him try. Liam pulled back, meeting her eyes. I'm not some college kid he can intimidate. I'm Liam Ashford, and I've destroyed more powerful men than Damien Thorne before breakfast. Mia stared at him. Ashford. Oh God. You're that Liam Ashford. He nodded. And for the first time in 6 years, something like hope flickered in Mia's eyes. Liam moved Mia and Ella into his penthouse the next morning, over every one of Mia's protests. Ella, a tiny girl with her mother's eyes and a dinosaur backpack, looked around the space with wonder. Mama, is this a castle? It's temporary, baby, Mia said softly. Just until Mama figures things out. But Liam had no intention of it being temporary. For 2 weeks, an uneasy peace settled. Liam worked from home, watching Mia slowly relax, watching Ella's laughter fill spaces that had been silent for years. He found himself coming home early just to hear Ella's stories about dinosaurs, just to see Mia smile. One night, after Ella was asleep, Mia found him on the balcony. You didn't have to do all this, she said quietly. I know. Why are you really helping me, Liam? He turned to face her, and the truth escaped before he could stop it. Because from the moment I met you, I haven't been able to think about anything else. Mia's breath caught. Liam, you don't have to say anything. I just needed you to know. But Mia stepped closer, her hand trembling as she reached up to touch his face. I'm broken. I'm damaged. I come with so much baggage. I don't care. You should. I don't. She kissed him then, desperate and tender and full of 6 years of loneliness. When they finally broke apart, both were breathing hard. This is a mistake, Mia whispered. When Damien finds out, Liam's phone rang. Nathan's name flashed on the screen. Sir, you need to see this. Now. 10 minutes later, Liam stared at the documents Nathan had uncovered, his world tilting. Damien Thorne didn't just want Mia back. He needed her. Because 6 years ago, Mia's father had left her something in his will that even she didn't know about. Patent rights to a revolutionary cancer drug worth $3 billion. Rights that would activate on her 30th birthday, which was in 2 weeks. He's been keeping me poor, Mia whispered, reading over Liam's shoulder. So I wouldn't have the resources to fight him when the time came. There's more, Nathan said grimly. Thorne's been making payments to someone in your building. Someone who's been watching you for years. Mia's face went white. The babysitter. Oh God, Ella. They ran. But when they burst into the penthouse, Ella was gone. And in her place was a note in Damien's handwriting. You have 24 hours to sign over the patents, or you'll never see our daughter again. Mia's scream shattered the silence. She collapsed, her body convulsing with sobs as the note fluttered from her hands. Ella, my baby. No, no, no. Liam was already dialing, but Mia grabbed his phone with desperate strength. You can't call the police. Damien's father is Senator Thorne. They'll side with him. They always do. Then what do you want me to do? Liam's voice cracked. I'll sign the patents. Her eyes were hollow dead. I'll give him everything. Just get my daughter back. Mia, those patents are worth $3 billion. I don't care. She was screaming now, unraveling. She's 6 years old. She's terrified. She needs her mother. Nathan burst in, his face ashen. Sir, Thorne's lawyers filed emergency custody papers an hour ago. Judge Hartwell, who's on the senator's payroll, signed a temporary order. Legally, Damien has rights to Ella. The room spun. Mia couldn't breathe. There's more, Nathan continued grimly. They have photos of Mia entering this building late at night. Edited to look inappropriate. If we fight this, they'll destroy her reputation. She'll never get Ella back. Mia stood, her voice eerily calm. I'm going to him. I'll sign whatever he wants. I'll go back to him if that's what it takes. Mia, no. You don't understand. She whirled on Liam, eyes blazing with anguish. You're a billionaire who thinks money fixes everything. But you've never been powerless. You've never had someone systematically destroy your entire life while the world looks away. This is my daughter, my child, and I will burn in hell before I let him hurt her. I won't let you do this. You can't stop me. Her voice broke. This is where we end, Liam. You tried to save me, but some people can't be saved. She walked toward the door, and Liam watched the woman he loved choose her cage, powerless to stop her. Mia, please. She didn't turn around. Forget you ever met me. It's safer that way. The door closed, and for the first time in his life, Liam Ashford had lost. Liam sat in darkness, staring at his phone. 3 hours since Mia left. No word. Charlotte found him at dawn, still in yesterday's clothes. Tell me you have a plan, she said quietly. I have nothing. He has Ella. He has the law. He has everything. No, Charlotte's voice hardened. He has fear and corruption. But we have something he doesn't. What? The truth. And people willing to fight for it. She pulled up a file on her tablet. Remember Officer Hannah Martinez? The babysitter? Liam's head snapped up. She's been undercover FBI for 8 months, investigating Senator Thorne for corruption. She was never working for Damien. She was building a case against him. Ella was never in danger. Hannah took her to a safe house. Hope, painful, terrifying hope, flooded through him. Does Mia know? No. We couldn't risk tipping off Damien. But Liam. Charlotte's eyes gleamed. The FBI has everything. Bank records, recorded conversations, bribes. They're ready to move. They just needed Damien to make one more mistake. What mistake? Trying to force Mia to sign under duress. That's coercion, extortion, and with Ella involved, kidnapping. Federal charges. Even Senator Thorne can't protect him from that. Liam was already moving. Where is she? Damien's estate. She's signing the papers at noon. Liam checked his watch. 11:45. We'll never make it in time. Yes, Charlotte smiled. We will. 20 minutes later, Liam burst into Damien's office. FBI agent Sarah Mitchell and Officer Hannah Martinez behind him. Mia stood frozen, pen hovering over documents, mascara-streaked face snapping up in shock. Mama! Ella ran from behind Agent Mitchell, crashing into Mia's arms. Baby! Oh God, baby, you're safe. Damien lunged forward, but Agent Mitchell blocked him. Damien Thorne, you're under arrest for coercion, extortion, kidnapping, and conspiracy. Your father will be arrested within the hour. Liam crossed to Mia as Damien was handcuffed, screaming threats. You came, Mia whispered, tears streaming. Even after I pushed you away. Always, Liam said simply. You're not alone anymore. I'm so sorry. Don't. We fight together now. And finally, Mia let herself believe. The federal courthouse was packed. News cameras lined the steps. The trial of Senator Thorne and his son had captivated the nation. Mia took the stand, her voice steady despite trembling hands. Mr. Thorne assaulted me 7 years ago. When I discovered I was pregnant and tried to leave, he threatened to destroy me. His father offered me a choice: sign over my inheritance and disappear, or face a custody battle I couldn't win. She looked directly at Damien. So I gave him $60 million to keep my daughter safe. And he still spent 6 years hunting us. Why didn't you come forward sooner? The prosecutor asked gently. Because who would believe me? A powerful senator's son versus a nobody? I had no proof, no resources, no hope. Until someone believed me enough to find the proof. She looked at Liam in the gallery. He nodded. The prosecutor pulled up bank records. These show systematic payments from Senator Thorne to judges, police chiefs, and employers, all to sabotage Mia Sterling's life. The FBI has recordings of Damien Thorne explicitly stating his intention to keep her desperate enough to come crawling back. The recording played. Damien's voice filled the courtroom. I don't care if she's homeless. I don't care if she starves. She's mine, and she'll remember that. The jury looked horrified. Defense tried everything, but the evidence was overwhelming. Officer Martinez testified about Damien's threats. Nathan presented financial records showing the systematic destruction of Mia's life. Charlotte described Mia's terror, Ella's nightmares. After 2 hours of deliberation, the verdict came. Guilty on all counts. Damien exploded. You think this is over? My father. Your father, Agent Mitchell interrupted, entering the courtroom. Just took a plea deal. He's testifying against you to reduce his sentence. You're alone now. Just like you made her feel. As Damien was led away in chains, Mia finally exhaled 6 years of fear. Outside, reporters swarmed. Liam held Mia close as she read a prepared statement. The patents will fund a foundation providing free medication to those who can't afford it. Money can be weaponized, but it can also heal. I choose healing. What about Damien Thorne? A reporter shouted. Mia's smile was steel-wrapped in grace. He taught me that surviving isn't living. But I'm done just surviving. Now I'm finally alive. That night, Liam proposed properly, on one knee, with Ella's permission. Will you marry my mama? Ella had asked him that morning. If she'll have me. Good. We need you. Those 3 words meant everything. 18 months later, Mia stood in the Sterling Foundation headquarters. A building that once housed her father's company, now transformed into a beacon of hope. The foundation has provided medication to over 50,000 families, she told the assembled crowd. But numbers don't capture what this really means. It means parents who get to watch their children grow up. It means futures that didn't exist before. Liam watched from the front row, Ella beside him in her flower girl dress from their wedding 3 months ago. His hand rested on Mia's rounded belly, their son, due in spring. After the speech, Charlotte found them. You know, when I set you up on that blind date, I just thought you both needed company. I had no idea it would become this. Neither did I, Liam admitted, pulling Mia close. Best blind date of my life. Only blind date of your life, Mia corrected, laughing. That evening, in their brownstone with the garden where Ella played and the nursery they'd painted together, Mia found Liam on the back porch. Penny for your thoughts? She asked, settling beside him. Just thinking about that first night. You, soaking wet, looking like you wanted to run. I never imagined that I'd be your wife, mother of your child, that I'd be this happy. He kissed her temple. You saved me, Mia. Just as much as I saved you. We saved each other, she corrected softly. Ella burst outside, fireflies glowing around her. Mama, Daddy, come see. The fireflies are dancing. They joined their daughter, the 3 of them, soon to be 4, wrapped in the kind of peace that only comes after surviving the storm. Somewhere, Damien Thorne sat in a cell, powerless. But here, in this garden filled with light and laughter, Mia had everything. Freedom, love, hope, and the absolute certainty that she was finally, completely, gloriously home. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey, my beautiful friends. If this story touched your heart, smash that like button and tell me in the comments which moment made you cry. Don't forget to subscribe. We have so many more powerful stories coming your way. Remember, you are stronger than your struggles, braver than your fears, and worthy of a love that sets you free. Until next time, keep believing in second chances. Red Heart.